Say you never heard of Krampus.
Hey, Bradley Palermo here from Grapple City Rewind. You may not know it, maybe you do, but I'm also a musician. Every year I record a brand new holiday track like Krampus or Whiskey for Everyone this Christmas, things of that nature. And then we perform all those songs live in my barbershop in Los Angeles, California. We only got room for like 25, 30 people, and some of those tickets have already gone. So make sure you grab your spot now. It's BYOB or Have Some On Me. Saturday, December 6th. Link in the episode description.
There were no reindeer games, it was all song and fame.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron Fink from Grapple City Rewind. If you like what you hear on this episode, give us a follow or leave us a review on whatever platform you use to listen. It'll go a long way in helping us to be discovered by more wrestling fans like you.
Should I cue the music?
All right, cue the music.
Hello, and welcome back to Grapple City Rewind, taking you all the way back to the iconic pay-per-views and television specials that shaped wrestling history. This week, we're going back to the Ruthless Aggression era, 2002, WWF No Mercy.
WWE
No Mercy 2002. We were at WWF No Mercy 2001 not too long ago, so maybe that's where I got it confused. But this show's cool. I mean, this show's wild. It's got Kane being accused of murder by Triple H and Brock Lesnar dripping blood and against the Undertaker in a Hell in the Cell match. It's just really fucking violent. And yeah, it's got flashy sets, some great workers, some big names, some soap opera angles, all kinds of stuff that we're going to get into. I'm Bradley Palermo here, as always, with Aaron Fink. And Aaron, normally we do a little bit of current product and talk about what's going on in the current world of wrestling. But this week, I feel like the current world has had not a whole lot to write home about. Unless you feel otherwise, I think we can maybe just go ahead and get right into No Mercy.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be straight up. I didn't watch a lot of wrestling this week. I was obsessing over my fantasy football team, and today was spending hours just being nervous all day.
You got to watch like all the teams play all the games.
I do.
Yeah. I watched AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, and I saw some of NXT's Halloween Havoc, but nothing really super stands out to me. I mean, there was a cool Okada Bandito match actually at the end of Dynamite. It was just a good match. It's like, wow, I can see a real wrestling match on television that seems kind of like pay-per-view level. That's nice to happen sometimes because you just get so much talking on these shows.
And now it's time for the rewind.
All right, so No Mercy 2002. This was October 20th, 2002, at the Alltel Arena in Little Rock, Arkansas. 10,000 people in attendance. It had a very strange opening. Like we did get the very serious conversation of guilt poisons the soul. The mind games are over. But before that, Undertaker was sitting in the locker room with his bandaged hand, and then Kane showed up, and he was like, "Hey, so how was your week?" I was like, what the fuck is that? This is like a strange way to open up a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I feel like I've either seen that before, probably just saw it, but or they've started things off with Kane and Undertaker just hanging around on other like Raws and stuff back then. I'm not sure, but I've definitely like seen that little opening of the two of them, which is weird because they're supposed to be like these ghostly monsters, and they're just kind of like, hey, we're people. They're so humanized at this point, you know?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the first things I noticed was like, oh, Kane, they're letting Kane talk, and he's not like talking with a voice box or a voice, you know? Did you remember that? Like doing that thing.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like this dude that
got burned alive.
Murdered Undertaker's whole family. He's his brother, and he's all burnt up. And eventually he's later on in the years, he wrestles without a mask. He's not burnt. He can talk just fine.
He's a
He
governor of Tennessee now.
Becomes the Republican governor of somewhere in Tennessee. It's like, yeah, okay, the mystery's kind of gone with that one. They definitely shouldn't have had him talking, though. And the Undertaker shouldn't be fucking talking so much. But anyways.
Well, this is like a weird incarnation of the Undertaker too, but we'll get to it. So yeah, intro, very ominous voiceover. Who will show no mercy? And we got a Paul Heyman intro before the pay-per-view on behalf of Brock Lesnar, talking about how he's going to destroy the Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell. Anyway,
Paul Heyman sounds a bit different back then.
Yeah, his voice is a little higher.
Yeah, I was like, is this Brock Lesnar giving the promo? Because the voice is all high. Brock kind of has that Mike Tyson thing going on. Then I was like, no, it's Heyman, but he's using a different cadence. Yes.
Yeah. So after these various video packages, we began, and on commentary, we actually had 2 commentary teams. So this is during the beginning of WWE's brand split. So they had, Raw had its own roster, SmackDown had its own roster, Raw has its own general manager, Eric Bischoff, SmackDown has Stephanie McMahon. So Raw's commentary team was Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. SmackDown was Michael Cole and Taz. And first match was a tag team match. It was Chris Jericho and Christian, who were the World Tag Team Champions, against Booker T and Goldust. Our old pal Dustin Rhodes, who we've seen a bit of in the recent past. I guess for this one, Jericho and Booker T had been feuding. They didn't really go into the details, just kind of showed us in video recaps that they had been feuding and it had been intense. So yeah, fun, fast-paced tag match. Jericho and Christian were very clearly the heels in this scenario. I enjoy all 4 of these guys. They're all fantastic wrestlers. And I think the standout person to me in the match was probably Booker T. All 4 of them are great, but Booker T was shining the most in the match, or at least had the crowd the most behind him,
I wrote that down too. I said Booker T's the star here. He's hitting the flashy kicks and he's breakdancing, but it's obviously 4 very elite workers, but this was all about Booker T.
Yeah, for sure. And, not without its comedy moments. Goldust used to do a spot where he would take people into the corner and he'd drape their legs over the middle rope and then he'd kick them right in the nards. He wouldn't really kick them in the nards. He'd kick the middle turnbuckle.
Oh, right.
That got a big reaction. And then Jericho tried to rush in after that. And then he got tripped and then hit his head into Christian's groin. So that was fun.
Christian took, I think, 2 low blows during this thing.
Yeah, he did for sure. I also wrote down that I felt like these guys all have such great timing. Everything was fast but smooth. I don't think there was a single mistake in this match. Like everything felt real, except there was this weird moment where Jericho was trying to do like a lion salt thing off the second rope, and the turnbuckle snapped out of the post. I'm pretty sure that was not supposed to happen. So that was kind of jarring. Yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was not super long. I think it was only even like 10 minutes. 8 minutes.
8 minutes and 47 seconds.
So pretty short, but exciting.
So the ring rope falling off was really it fucked up, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it wasn't like a real angle there, but it kind of changed everything having that rope hanging down. Yeah,
they definitely had to improvise after that. But it felt like the way that it ended was kind of still what it was supposed to be. I think Christian had brought one of the belts into the ring and it didn't work. He lost it, and the ref got distracted. Jericho hit Goldust with a bulldog on the title. And then he hit him with a moonsault, of all things, as his finish, and then got the pin. So the heels retain.
We'll be back after a quick break.
And this episode has been brought to you by Weber for Law, your tag team partner when life body slams you out of nowhere. If you've been injured in an accident, motorcycle, car, dog bite, slip and fall, or even if you've been hit in the head with a flying steel chair, these are the guys to call. They've got knockout reviews on Google, a killer track record, and they always fight for the win. I can testify to that personally. Weber for Law took care of me, and they will take care of you too. Don't wait. Visit weberforlaw.com. That's WEBER, the number 4, law.com. Or call 818-502-9200. That's 818-502-9200. Weber for Law, your tag team partner when life body slams you out of nowhere. And Meltzer, I have to get out my reading glasses because the site I found with the Meltzer ratings is so tiny. Gave it. What do you think? Guess.
I'm gonna say a 3.
Close, yeah. 2 3/4 of a star. But you know what? I thought it had a good, like, out of the gate fast action element to it. Like, it's a good opener. And
Yeah.
fucking, I don't know, man. I love to see Goldust. Someone that doesn't really know wrestling, that's seen it like once over the last 20 years. That's what they always remember. Like, there's this guy.
Yeah.
He's like wearing all this sparkly and he's really sexual. Yeah, I'm like, okay, Goldust, dude. Yeah. Memorable.
Yeah, he was a memorable guy. And I did notice that that punch that Cody does where he falls on his back to the mat and then punch it like sort of uppercuts. Yeah, that's a Goldust move.
That's a Goldust move, huh?
Yeah.
And he probably started doing that when he did the Stardust.
Oh, yeah.
He probably had to do Goldust moves. But I don't know. It's interesting how the two brothers and the dad share some of it, right? Like,
Yeah, he does that from his brother. He does the elbows from his dad.
yeah, and I mean, Dustin definitely does bionic elbows. Cody has like his own version of it, right, with the pelvic thrust. But he didn't really do that in AEW. He kind of
he started doing the Dusty stuff when he got to WWE.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun, and some of their just like the ways that they walk and hold their heads and the way that they sort of interact with the crowd. Mannerisms are similar between the three too. So, should we get into this backstage Funaki interview with Al Wilson?
Yes, this was weird.
So I guess this Al Wilson guy is the father of Tori Wilson, who's going to wrestle, but Tori's going to wrestle Dawn. So his daughter, Dawn Marie. So his daughter's opponent, Dawn, is hitting on him, like basically trying to like fuck her dad.
Like in the weeks leading up to
it's like he's like in the shower with this woman, and he's just like
with his clothes on.
He's getting flashed by this woman, and then Funaki, this interviewer, he like asked him. He's like, "Well, I just have one question. Why were you in the shower with your clothes on?" Because in the video, it's like she's not wearing clothes, but he's fully in his like button down. And then for like this is way after, I'm pretty sure, way after the whole Bill Clinton, I did not have sex with that woman thing. But they quote it, they reference it. He says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. So they're making Bill Clinton jokes still in 2000.
Pretty trashy segment all around. Definitely more of like a soap opera thing. And
there's a lot of trash TV in this pay-per-view, but
yes, for sure. And, obviously leading us to the Tori Wilson versus Dawn Marie match. Dawn Marie, I recognize because she was in ECW. And, the one thing I wrote down about this one is like, oh, nice. This is a normal wrestling match between two women. They're like fully clothed. It was kind of funny that they were talking about the lead up to this normal match was they had like a lingerie match and a bikini match or something stupid. But then they ended it with a normal match. That was nice.
Yeah, I was going to say like it was still like sexual overtones because literally right before they came out, it was one was trying to have sex with the other one's dad. I mean, and then the video package was all like sexual and stuff. Oh, and the referee molests the women, like straight up, like sexual assault. They're pinning each other. He gets on the back of one of them, so
then they roll on top of it,
and then he rolls them both together around the ring and won't let them go. And then like gets up and like laughs and cheers and puts his hands up in the air, like look at me, like a frat boy who just fucking groped someone. It was, but to your point, Aaron, they actually did wrestle. Like it was
Yeah.
it was a real wrestling match with two workers that looked like they knew what they were doing. They, I mean, now you know.
Can't hold a candle to now, of course,
Yeah,
yes. But
yeah.
certainly a huge improvement from the things that we watched in the year 2000 and 2001. You know,
Right.
like you can see there's actual progression happening on a yearly basis, which is nice to see. This is not one of the best matches of the night. I would say it was okay, but it was also very short. I believe it was less than 5 minutes. Tori Wilson won with a swinging neck breaker. And I suspect good old Dave probably gave this 3/4 of a star.
Negative half a star. So worse than a dud.
Negative half a star.
Negative half a star.
Oh boy. Oh
All
boy.
right.
Well, after this, we had another backstage segment. It was our old pal Coach, Jonathan Coachman, in the back talking with RVD about his upcoming match with Ric Flair. And RVD was doing his typical like stoner type discussion, like, oh, Ric Flair, you say you're a profiling, styling, whatever, you know, does Ric Flair's whole thing. And then RVD kind of flips that on his head and does it for himself. But then
I don't style. I don't profile. I said coach. Yeah.
no offense to Coach. I actually thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So, you know, silly little backstage promo. After it's over, Coach sees Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar walk by, tries to talk to them. They don't want to talk to him. Yeah, so then we get the third match of the night, Ric Flair versus RVD. Weird Ric Flair music, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that was about, but it's not what we normally hear. He was still doing his normal coming out with the flashy robe thing, but you know, as Flair was walking up, the commentators gave us some context about how Flair had been messing with RVD. He cost him a world title in a match against Triple H using a sledgehammer, I think, to interfere. I wonder if this is close to the beginning of Evolution, that faction that Triple H, Ric Flair, Batista, and Randy Orton were a part of, maybe.
Probably.
RVD, still super popular. I think we saw him in No Mercy 2001. RVD comes in hot, and they're fighting outside the ring. RVD, in the first like 3 minutes, has already done a bunch of crazy high-flying shit, because that's what Van Damme does, you know? It was really weird juxtaposition of styles, because Flair doesn't do anything like RVD does. But,
Yep.
you know, like Flair, I think he went after RVD's leg, and then it just kind of slowed down the match. And like, I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, Flair does the old school psychology, which is great for heel, just stalling, hiding in the ropes, pulling off a low blow when the ref's not looking, that kind of thing. You know, he does the chops, and the crowd at this point they've caught on to the woos. You know,
Yeah.
they're fucking wooing along to every chop, and difference in style works because one guy's just gonna fly around and knock you over, and then other dude's gonna be like, "Oh, stop!" You know, Ric Flair's just kind of running half the time. Always acts like he's gonna leave the match. But when I was watching this, I was like, Ric Flair does look old. He's starting to look old at this point, and he's like well into his
53. They said on commentary, which is insane. Because like he doesn't look that old, but like just to think about a 53-year-old man taking bumps like he was taking, I was like, man, Flair's wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, and you know, he's crazy. I mean, you know, that guy was in a plane accident before we ever saw him on any of this stuff, and still taking still taking bumps with all that damage to his body, but he's still going. He does. I mean, I wouldn't say like he don't look a day over 50 or anything. Like, dude looks old, right? And it's like, but he's still Ric Flair. It's a big draw. It's always fun to see him, but I don't really understand why JR randomly asked Lawler during this match if he finds pregnant women attractive.
I missed that somehow.
It was weird.
JR had some weird fucking comments in this pay-per-view. We'll get to one later.
Do you find he's like, Lawler, do you find pregnant woman attractive? I don't even think he even knew what to say. I was like, this is a weird ass thing to throw in there.
Well, you know, I did hear in the news that JR might have gotten himself in some hot water with Devon. Did you hear about that?
Devon has said now, to my understanding, this is an exact quote, that JR treated him poorly
Yeah, he said he was racist.
because of the color of the skin.
Yeah.
And he told him, I think the line was, he straight up told me he doesn't like black people.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what he said. That JR told him he doesn't like him because of the color of his skin, which is insane. Although I did some deep diving after seeing this interview where Devon said that, and apparently JR was friends with a bunch of like Klan members and shit. I mean, he's from like Oklahoma or something, or Alabama or something. I don't know where he's from, but yeah.
So JR that's very disappointing, and the society will never cease to disappoint you when you learn about your heroes, right? But JR, it sucks. He seemed like such a nice old man, and he is the best commentator. And we have enough of these guys that we have to sort of like pretend like we don't know certain things about them in wrestling.
Yeah.
And if JR is a racist, which, I mean, why the fuck would Devon just make that up? You know, I mean, I tend to believe that.
And Bubba even said once Devon's like explained that story, he was like, "Oh yeah, I do remember." So I don't think both of them would lie.
Right. That's
disappointing.
It's disappointing. I feel like, I don't know, it's easy to like kind of pretend like you don't notice some things like that, but you just got to show up to work the next day. But there's a lot of that shit around. I don't know, even some of the corporations I've worked in and stuff I've heard, I'm like, pretend like I didn't hear that one, you know? So that's really disappointing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fucking JR, man. We lost another good one.
Let's back to Flair and Van Dam. So it was... Thank you, Rick. It was an 8-minute match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was super solid. Van Dam got the win. He hit his 5-star frog splash and got the pin despite all of the damage done to his legs. So I enjoyed this one. I assume Meltzer didn't like it.
Let's see. Dave Meltzer gave it a 2. 2 out of 5. 2 stars out of 5.
A 2? Okay. Yeah. That's I would have given it more. Maybe like a 3, but
I would go 3 on it. Easy. Yeah, I mean, RVD's awesome, man. And Ric Flair did what he's supposed to do. So what do you really want? I mean, I would give it at least like a standard rating, not like a lower end, right?
Yeah. What are his criteria? Like that's the thing I really want to know is like what part of your asshole do you pull these stars out of, Dave Meltzer?
I think so. I've heard Jim Cornette do a whole thing we talked about before about the original star rating wrestling guy, Weasel Dooley or whatever. And I think originally 5 was supposed to be, it's really like a rating like 1 out of 3. Like I think 5 is kind of supposed to be like breaking your rating. And that's supposed to be like, you absolutely brought down the house. Right. So, and 4 is supposed to be kind of hard to get.
Okay. Well, I guess if you look at it like that, then if he's thinking like a 2 is middle of the road.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not, but the way that it was explained, it was supposed to be like very stingy, right? Like a 5 is like, what the fuck? Like no one saw this coming. They brought down the house. Everything was great.
I guess it's just knowing now that in the last 10 years, he's given out like 6.5 and 7-star matches. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like this doesn't even make sense. You're not adhering to your own rating system.
Yeah. I mean, I think our brains start to go the wrong direction after it starts to happen, you know, somewhere in middle age. And by the time you get to old Meltzer's age, it's gotten a little senile, I think. That's what I'm trying to say.
I suspect you are correct. Yeah. So yeah, that match was over. Then we got another backstage segment with Big Show and Stephanie McMahon. Big Show was trying to complain to Stephanie about something because I guess he's a SmackDown superstar. She's the GM of SmackDown.
He's been left off to the pay-per-views since July.
Right. So then Eric Bischoff shows up. Oh, no, that's what it was. He was a Raw superstar, and he was talking to Stephanie, who's the SmackDown general manager, and then Bischoff shows up, and he's like, you can't talk to her, and then Show gets in his face and throws him up against some clangy catering carts. I love how they just conveniently put very loud, clangy stuff around when there's backstage segments. Anyway, he's mad. Yeah.
I mean, they're teasing a brand switch, right?
Probably.
But I think the thing that WWE, I guess, really, because it's more in that era, never really understood and maybe still doesn't understand is we don't really give a fuck about Team SmackDown versus Team Raw and like what side you're on and who's going to the draft and who, like, no, I mean, I don't remember who's the fuck is on which show. I don't even know if they do a draft. I don't even know if they stick to it. Hardly ever. Like,
they haven't been this year very much. I mean, ever since the Netflix deal started, like, I honestly can't remember if they even had a draft this year.
It's been a while.
And if
The
they
draft is
did,
bad.
they're not adhering to it at all because, and they shouldn't. Like, people need to be flexible. You should change what shows people are on to benefit the show, not to like create rivalries that don't matter, you know?
Right. They shouldn't really talk to us about who's going where. Like, you can keep that in the office. Just show me, okay, this week on Monday Night Raw, you got AJ Styles versus, Luchador X or whatever. And cool. If I either want to watch that or I don't need to be like, why is he on this one, not a Monday?
Oh, Roman's on Raw now? What does this mean? Who's going to SmackDown? I don't care who's going to SmackDown. I just want to be excited that Roman's there,
Right, exactly. So I think they clearly thought that was cool drama back then, teasing the brand switch. Like, oh, like teasing a heel turn always works. Teasing a brand switch, nah.
Yeah.
And then we get a Intercontinental Title history montage because this pay-per-view decided that they want to kill the Intercontinental Title. They want to merge it with the heavyweight title. So they kind of do like a little
retrospective.
Yeah, like to make a little funeral for the IC title. It's sad. Granted, it will come back like in less than a year, like everything else that ever gets merged. But it's a cool title with a cool lineage. Like it was, I don't know. I guess Gewurz was writing a lot of this stuff now, and I feel like he's kind of a weirdo like the rest of them in his own way. Like some of this wild shit. But yeah, so it's like Disney style orchestral music. I mean, it was actually kind of beautifully cut together, Tito Santana and Macho Man and Bret Hart and Chyna and all the champions that have had the IC belt over the years. Oh, and then the next match had nothing to do with that. It was it was a Cruiserweight championship. Jamie Noble, the champion, versus
Tajiri.
Oh, he was with Nydia and he was versus Tajiri. So this one was like a fast-paced martial arts lucha hybrid type match.
I liked it.
Solid,
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Cruiserweight stuff. Obviously, when we watched Halloween Havoc last week, we saw an amazing Cruiserweight match with Rey Mysterio Jr. and Eddie Guerrero. And, I wish the crowd was more invested in this one, but I enjoyed it. There was a tornado DDT that Tajiri hit Noble with that looked really good. And eventually the crowd did get into it. But they're just, they never, WWE never really gave the Cruiserweight title any serious attention. Even when they made their own show just for Cruiserweights, 205 Live, like nobody watched.
Oh, yeah. I remember that on the WWE network, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think the crowd got the most excited when Tajiri locked in the tarantula, which was like that submission where he hangs you up on the ropes and he like grabs you and goes over the back of the ropes. And obviously you can't win with that because the ref always counts to 5, but they all seem to love that.
Yeah. This was also sort of awkward, like sort of more weird rape culture bro-y stuff because Noble retains after interference from Nydia, and then Tajiri goes to Nydia and just sticks his tongue down her throat, like forcibly kisses her. And then the other guy, Jamie, to show him how it's done, he goes and does the same thing. They're like passing her back and forth, these two opponents and this woman.
Yeah, and then Tajiri kicks Noble in the back of the head while he's kissing his girlfriend. Kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like, it's some trash TV presentation all throughout this thing, but I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm unfamiliar with sort of early 2000s WWE, and like it's kind of interesting to see this all. Like, where were they at the end of the Attitude Era? Well, they were kind of like as trashy as fucking ever. You know?
No, for sure. And, I wrote down after this match that one of the things I've noticed about this pay-per-view that certainly made it stand out from Halloween Havoc 97 is how clearly defined the baby faces and heels are. Like there's no doubt in every single match who is the good guy, who's the bad guy. Like so clear. It's so obvious. And
true.
honestly, I like that. It just makes it really easy to get invested in the match. Yeah, you know, like I appreciate that. And it's funny because it almost doesn't happen as often anymore. It kind of does in current day WWE, but then there's always those in-betweeners where like half the crowd likes them, half the crowd doesn't, or the crowd likes you when you have your entrance, but then they don't like you once the bell rings.
Yeah, I like it to be defined. It's nice.
This was just like
cut and dry.
Yeah, this was just consistent. You know, like when Christian and Jericho came out, boos. You know, when Booker T and Goldust came out, cheers.
Heroes and villains. And then we had some backstage drama. Chris Benoit screaming for Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, because Angle was beating up Eddie's cousin Chavo.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing, but meant to build tension for the tag match finals later on. I don't have a lot to say about the little in-between thing, but
yeah, it was whatever.
Yeah, it was whatever. Then you get a video package with Kane versus Triple H.
Yes, and this is where we get the infamous Katie Vick story.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain this for people who don't know?
Well, you can explain the Katie Vick thing. I was just gonna say Kane's voice like kills the mystique. The "freaks are cool" line that he said, "freaks are cool," or it was so really just cringe.
Yeah.
But anyways, talk about the Katie Vick thing, sure.
So this storyline is pretty infamous. A lot of people remember one particular part of this storyline in particular, which I'll talk about in a second. But essentially, this whole shtick was that Triple H was coming after Kane and calling him a murderer because when he was in high school, he went to a party with this girl named Katie Vick, and they were driving after the party. Kane had had too much to drink, and so had Katie. And then he got in a car accident, and Katie died instantly. And so they called Kane a murderer.
And they just picked this name out of thin fucking air.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you know this part, Brad, but the most absurd part of this whole feud, there was a segment that they did on a Raw or a SmackDown.
The very next night.
Oh, was it the next night? Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was before this, but so Triple H.
You might look better dead than you did alive.
Oh my God.
It didn't have to be like this. You didn't have to die. If you'd have just given me what I wanted, if you'd have just let me touch you, then I wouldn't have swerved and gone off the road, and you would still be alive. I want you more than ever now in your cheerleader uniform. I used to watch you bounce up and down. Maybe I should do what I've always wanted to do. Do you want me to? I bet it feels good to have them free, doesn't it? Oh, yes, it certainly does.
Jesus.
This is Triple H pretending to be Kane, molesting
a dead body.
I always saw on your skirt. Please. I love the smell of formaldehyde in the morning.
It's the most ridiculous.
Tell me how bad you want it. Tell me. Yes.
What is this music?
They play like Disney music while he's like having sex with the shorts.
Dear God. That
it.
is horrible.
I really did it. I really did. I screwed your brains out.
And that plop you heard was he threw like a gelatinous material at the camera.
Oh my God.
So it's supposed to be like it was her brains or whatever.
Wow.
So
that was horrible. That was worse than I remember.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like, why explain it when I actually made a clip here?
Oh my God. That was disgusting. And I thank God that has not somehow, that has managed to, slip between the cracks and never be referenced again, because dear God, that is so bad.
Almost everyone involved. So we both read the Brian Gewertz book, the writer at the time, who came up with that concept. He wrote about it in his book, and I think he has some self-awareness about how bad of an idea it was. Apparently, Vince McMahon was way into it though.
Of course he was.
And Triple H didn't want to do it, and he was uncomfortable with it. And I think people try to pretend like it never happened, but yeah, that's where the Katie Vick story culminated to the very next night after this pay-per-view on Monday Night Raw.
Wow.
It's probably one of the most like offensive things that, the WWFE and all the above have done ever. One of their most weird angles.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, let's talk about this match now. Triple H versus Kane. Winner takes all. World Heavyweight Championship and Intercontinental Championship. Didn't like Kane's entrance music, like with lyrics and stuff. I think it said "Freaks are cool" on the Titantron too.
So embarrassing. The pyro is cool though. He has a lot of pyro.
Yeah, his fire in the ring is always cool. We did get the Triple H the Game Motorhead song, which was great because that's what I remember most about Triple H is that entrance. There's nothing wrong with this match. They're two very big stars of the time, but it just felt very standard. Like nothing spectacular. Ric Flair came out and started interfering. The Sledgehammer came out.
Hurricane?
Your old pal Hurricane, showed up to try to stop Flair. Got a pedigree for his troubles.
I guess kind of overbooked. There's too many people out there.
Yeah, it was messy by the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, Kane dominated early, and Triple H was kind of leaning on his sort of like underhanded heel tactics. But I don't know, two big guys just kind of swinging on each other. Brawl.
I guess I see what Bret Hart was talking about with Triple H matches never doing anything for him, because this was just like, eh.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe I'm influenced by Bret Hart, but I don't remember anything really so far that what Triple H did that was like, holy shit. I mean, but he looks great in the ring.
I feel like he had good matches with Rock and Austin and stuff, but again, they're probably all similar. Yeah, this was a messy one for sure. Downed referees, sledgehammers. I guess it just kind of felt like a typical Triple H match because he is a heel. Triple H wins with a pedigree after all kinds of interference. So goodbye to the Intercontinental Championship for now. He is still the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, so Dave Meltzer gave that a 2 3/4 star. I don't know if we mentioned the Cruiserweight title star rating, but that was a 3. So that was the best rating.
Yeah.
So far was the Cruiser title, and then this one was 2 3/4. But
we got another segment after this. Stephanie McMahon was in her office talking to this woman named Tracy. I guess the storyline here is that she claims that she had an affair with the Undertaker while the Undertaker's wife was pregnant. But I guess it turns out that she was a liar or something, because Undertaker was like back behind the door and he was like, "Oh, you lying bitch," or whatever.
Stephanie, he called her a lying bitch, which is again
so
just the trashiness of this time. But like this woman Tracy is speaking to Stephanie McMahon as like woman to woman. So Stephanie thinks she can get Tracy to tell the truth because she's a woman, and so she lets her guard. And I was like, okay, I really wasn't banging the Undertaker, but I'm gonna get him. And then the Undertaker's around the corner. What was crazy to me was like the style of this time. First of all, this is just pure soap opera energy, like just really bad acting and
reality TV,
like a bad set, like everything. But yeah, the woman, I guess it is 2002, but her Tracy, her jeans are so low, like it looks like there's something wrong with them. Like they're, you know what I mean? It's like they're like
apple bottom jeans
below the pubic bone. It's like. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? You gotta like
the pubic.
I mean, I don't wear my. Yeah, I'm like, this looks very odd. Like, how much, past your torso is like, are you going to show with your jeans? Which I guess it was the style at the time, but now women wear jeans like up above their belly button. So
and like their bell bottoms again are back now. Big flares. Yeah.
So I don't know, but it's definitely a sign of the times. Terrible acting, but the sixth match was the WWE Tag Team Championship Tournament Final, because there was other tag belts, and they were over on Raw, and this is the tag belts for SmackDown.
No,
or is
yeah,
it
you're
vice
right.
versa?
That these belts had never existed up until this point. There was only one tag team championship in WWF, and so this is the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Do we still have it that way now? I mean, I know there used to be the SmackDown championships, and then the Raw tag team championships, and then they were unified by the East, or the Usos had all of
Yeah.
them for
Now
damn near a
it's-
year.
Now I
probably.
think it's the WWE Tag Team Championship and the World Tag Team Champions.
like how
Yeah,
they do with the
yeah.
belt. Okay, yeah, with the
Yeah,
singles
yeah,
belts,
and the
yeah.
same kind of design too, where the Raw belts are sort of like the big gold belt ish, the World Heavyweight Championship.
I see. Right, yeah. You can tell I skipped most of the WWE tag
Well, that's
division.
because it's
so.
not very good at the moment. But this was good.
Yeah, Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit versus Edge and Rey Mysterio.
Mhm.
It's a lot of good workers in
Yeah,
one place.
and we're finally at the period of time in history where Kurt Angle gets "You suck" chants as he walks out, which I always love because they start out real.
No,
Yeah. You suck. They start out
Yeah.
real, and then eventually they become a term of endearment or like a reverence of sorts.
Yeah, this, I don't know. This might have been
Match of the night. You think?
maybe match of the night.
I think you might be right. I mean, as you said, all four of these guys are fantastic. We've talked about Benoit before. He's very scary, and whenever I hear his entrance music now, it makes me pretty unnerved. It is definitely still hard to watch him, knowing what he did, looking at his face, and he's scary.
I mean,
and you can kind of
for sure. I mean, if anyone's unaware about Chris Benoit, which I would assume if you're listening to this, you probably know the story, but it's a family annihilator. Killed his kid and his wife and himself one day. So you look at him and he just seems, I mean, we know that he's about to become a murderer for real, not like Kane and Katie Vick. and it's like, this is disturbing. You're looking at someone who will very soon do some really fucked up shit, and he don't look right. He looks,
yeah, well, and that was his character, right? So all these people say, "Oh, I never saw that with him," and it's like, well, when I watch it, maybe it's just, I mean, clearly I have the benefit of hindsight, but his character was intense, and he looked crazy, and he had a horrible case of CTE. So,
yeah. So you put it all together. I mean, I never, it's hard to ever know what's acting and what's real in this stuff, but like you said, looking back, it's eerie every time. But it's that time of year for watching weird shit, creepy shit, spooky shit.
Spooky season. Yeah. I will say, despite Mysterio and Edge being sort of an odd couple, I do remember them as a tag team, and I do remember that they were very popular together. Of course, popular on their own as well.
Yeah.
I thought this was a great match. As we said, it had a really good start. The beginning was Angle and Mysterio, and it reminded me of a match that I've watched recently, which I thought was fantastic, that I sent to you the other day. SummerSlam 2002 opening match between those two guys. So yeah, these are, what can you say? I mean, obviously Benoit is Benoit, but these are four elite level wrestlers doing some of their best work, and the crowd loved this match too.
Yeah. Mysterio's hot tags were awesome. He just came out looking superhuman. Good storytelling. Yeah. Best match of the night. I'm going to say best match of the night. I mean, I did say best match of the night, so I'll stick to that.
Yeah, no, it was, especially the end too. Like, so many big moves and moments, and the false finishes like hit really hard. Crowd was super into it and really thought that was going to be the move that ended the match. Yeah, it was also by far the longest match of the night up to this point at 20 plus minutes. And a kind of surprising ending. I thought maybe Edge and Mysterio would have won, but Angle got the ankle lock on Edge, and Edge tapped out. So Benoit and Angle.
Yeah, it was kind of a clean finish for a bad guy to win.
It was a very interesting way to end the match. I agree. I think it was the best match for sure.
The seventh match was the WWE Women's Championship, which was champion Trish Stratus versus Victoria,
Another actual match.
who JR called perpetually premenstrual.
He sure did. I don't think he knew what that meant. My wife was watching this with me and she was like, did he just call her premenstrual? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, what does he think that means? I said, I don't know. She's always in a bad mood. And she was like, okay, that's not what that means, but sure.
Yeah. I think he meant she was always like having like PMS.
Yeah, she was always grumpy, but stupid. What a derogatory thing to say. And probably you could hear Vince like, say she's premenstrual. Ha, 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 ha.
Again, it goes into that weird rape culture, like just weird shit that makes me feel uncomfortable when like dudes start acting like that, because I feel like they're up to no good, and they were up to no good. We find out,
especially when you think about who is in charge and what he is alleged to have done.
I watched something the other day, 50 most shocking WWE moments on the WWE Peacock channel, and there was one that was like, you know, they're doing like the Mr. McMahon character, but they were like, Vince, you know, he's for a long time he's got a lot of power and he likes to abuse people with it. And they were like saying stuff that like in real life is probably true, you know? And then they were like showing him with a William Regal on his knees, telling him like, why don't you go ahead and kiss my ass? It's a nice ass. Go ahead and kiss it. And then he pulls his ass out of his pants and he's like, it even does a trick for you. And he starts like bouncing his like, you know, butt muscles and his glutes. And then eventually Regal like kisses his bare ass on like, you know, Monday Night Raw or whatever.
Yeah, he did that a couple of times.
And I was like, that's not that far from the kind of stuff he really did, which was worse, but
or is being alleged of doing, I guess we should still say.
Allegedly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Allegedly. Trish and Victoria. Another decent match. I didn't like the way that they were talking about the women derogatorily, as we said.
Dude, Lawler even called out JR for talking derogatory.
Yeah, which made me laugh so hard. Yeah. Like when Jerry Lawler calls you out, then you know something's off, because he was the one that was always like screaming and yelling about women's puppies and stuff.
Yep.
And Trish won this one with a roll-up. Victoria kicked her in the mouth real good after the win. That looked very real. I don't know if you remember that, but I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, the match was decent. I think it looked a little choreographed. You know, just from a little, not totally natural.
Yeah, but again, like two real women's matches. So
yeah,
thank God. Time is progressing. Things are getting
post-match. I guess the post-match fight was setting up their Survivor Series feud.
Oh, okay.
And then we get the main event, the WWE Championship, Hell in a Cell. Brock Lesnar, who's the champion, with Paul Heyman, of course, versus The Undertaker. And I'm sure we've covered some other Hell in a Cell matches, but it's just a really big cage that stretches beyond the edge of the ring. And you can't just walk out of it. And you can't climb out of it. And it was kind of...
There is no escape.
Right. Jim Cornette invented this. And he...
Oh, shit, did he?
Yeah. He had an issue with WWE cage matches because you could just walk out of the fucking door. Like, what's the point of a cage that you can get out of? So he made a cage that you can't escape. And then he didn't name it. I believe Russo came up with the name, but it was Jim Cornette's cage concept.
Okay.
So that those two had a thing that they made together, arch enemies. But yeah, this is a super bloody match. You would never see this on WWE nowadays.
Not just the participants too. Heyman popped a gusher as well.
Yeah, Heyman. You're not supposed to really be able to get into the match, but Heyman had his little glory hole cut out so he could stick his arm into the cage, which of course, didn't work out too well for him. Like every glory hole, there was something ominous on the other side. In this case, it was Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, no, Lesnar hit him. That's right. Yeah.
And-
man.
and all kinds of it would grab his arm and pull him to the cage and like knock him into the cage. I mean, Paul Heyman was a big part of this match, right?
Yeah, well, so the one thing we should talk about before we get into the body of the match is they did have quite a bit of story for this match and a lot of build up in the video package. So, like a few weeks ago, the Lesnar, quote unquote, broke the Undertaker's hand with a propane tank. And so the whole shtick was Undertaker had his hand in a cast. And there was a package earlier in the pay-per-view where he was like in the medical office and was like, just do it, doc, just give me the shot, and like they mimed giving him some sort of painkiller shot in his hand so he could continue, could fight in the match. So this was supposed to be Undertaker's obstacle that he had to overcome. He had this injured hand or whatever. Undertaker, he busts Lesnar open with the cast, quote unquote, is using it as a weapon. And yeah, then eventually it starts getting a little crazier. They're fighting outside. Lesnar accidentally runs into Paul Heyman. Undertaker, grabs Heyman's tie and like slams his face into the ring or into the chain link fence. So Heyman's bleeding, Lesnar's bleeding, and then Lesnar, I can't remember exactly what he does, but he gets the advantage over Undertaker and then grabs the steel steps, smacks Undertaker in the face. And holy shit, did Undertaker like get a fucking vein in his forehead or what? He was gushing blood.
It's a lot of blood. But, it's hard for me to take Undertaker seriously at this point because he's like just kind of a white trash dude with like a goatee and red hair. But like,
yeah, he didn't even come out to Roland anymore and he didn't have his motorcycle.
So he comes out to You're Gonna Pay by Jim Johnston, and this song is so fucking bad. Every time it comes on in the video game, I'm like, there's this one line that I like. It's particularly it's almost like you would put this in a comedy song maybe, but okay. They say, he goes, nice guys, it's said they always finish last, but bad asses always kicking assholes' ass. Dude,
oh my god,
that's bad.
It's so bad.
Bad asses always kicking assholes' ass as your fucking theme song. Anyway, so yeah, that song kind of takes away from the
vastness of the Undertaker. Yeah, not his best entrance. So we've seen so many different entrances of the Undertaker since we started this podcast, and this is by far the worst one. There's no doubt. So nothing can be perfect all the time. But for as bloody an affair as this was, how much like just fist fighting and abuse they were taking, hitting each other with objects and the cage and stuff, it didn't really do all that much for me. I think the crowd definitely, particularly at the end, was excited. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could really focus on was the amount of blood coming out of the Undertaker's face, which was nuts.
It was quite a spectacle. It was gallons of blood, I would say. And
yeah.
I have to imagine it's probably not that many times since that they've probably gone that hardcore with the blood.
Yeah, that was definitely an accident, I think, in terms of just like the sheer amount of it. And, the end of the match was definitely exciting. The Undertaker hit Lesnar with a choke slam, wasn't enough. Hit him with his last ride power bomb, it wasn't enough. I liked the finish, actually, the actual finish. Undertaker had Lesnar up for the Tombstone Piledriver. Lesnar counters it, kind of gets Undertaker in sort of a piledriver position, and then chucks the Undertaker onto his shoulders and then hits him with the F5 for the win. Like, that was a physically impressive move. And Lesnar's always been a physically impressive guy. I think I forgot to mention, he's the youngest WWE champion in history.
Right. I thought it was pretty wild when he was holding onto the top of the cage, like all of his body weight just grabbing onto the top and then using himself to swing into the Undertaker while the Undertaker was positioned on the top of the rope.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brock was definitely a scary looking dude. And I guess the Undertaker was probably the scariest looking dude before Brock. So it's kind of a good opponent sort of passing the torch. I guess Brock's the one who eventually broke his Mania streak, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So wild, violent, and gory.
Indeed. What did Meltzer think of this one?
Well, let me see what Meltzer gave that one. What
You
did
should give it like a 3 or a 3.5.
Yeah, he went 4 on that one.
Okay. Yeah, for the time I could see, because Lesnar was a big deal back then. Very young, very
Yeah.
impressive. I don't think he had even really been in the WWE for more than like 2 years at that point. So
Yeah.
they shot him up to the main event really fast.
Trish and Victoria, he gave a 1 star to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was good. I thought this era of WWE had cool like entrance ramps, like video.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was all like cool, like hip, but it was like they had the technology there. They had a big screen where they walk out and all the logos.
Yeah, and they had a bunch of cool barbed wire as like the design elements of the entryway. It was good. Like it, it's certainly better than like early 90s WWF. It was certainly a lot grittier than the kind of stuff that we're seeing now. Still not without its issues, but I enjoyed this one. I guess we can get into the grapple grade. As always, we use a 3-tiered rating system. Fast forward, play, rewind. Fast forward means skip it. Play means watch it if you want to. Rewind means definitely watch it. I'll go first since this was my choice. I'm going to go rewind. I think that there are very few disappointments as far as matches go. There's obviously a lot of trashy nonsense, but that's just a sign of the times. I think just like from start to finish, under 3 hours, lots of super solid matches. We're seeing progression in terms of the women. You're seeing big stars from the time and stars that will continue on for many years, at their peak. So, yeah, I thought this was a good one. What about you?
Yeah, I had fun watching it. I give it a solid play. I think it's cool to see, Angle and Benoit versus Edge and Mysterio, of course. The Katie Vick storyline is really bad, but really funny. Lesnar and The Undertaker is definitely worth watching just for the blood spectacle. Just, whoa, I didn't expect to see this. I don't have any major gripes. I guess I just wasn't...
enthralled.
Not too much. Yeah. Like I feel like, here's what it is. Like, but when it was over, I was kind of like, I felt like I was still kind of waiting for like a main event, sort of like something about Brock and Undertaker and all that blood. I forgot that was like the thing. I thought that was just kind of like, here's something to kind of grab your attention before it's the real like final clean championship match or whatever happened. I was like, oh wait, that was it. So
yeah,
I guess it left me kind of wanting something a little bit more, but not, I mean, I don't really have any complaints. It was good. I guess since you picked this one, Aaron, it'll be my turn next. And November, it'll be November when we meet up again. November is the time of the year for Starrcade. And November is the time of year for Survivor Series. And I was thinking also maybe some like AWA territory stuff I could put in there, like go like real deep, which maybe but you know what? I think I'm going to go for, I'm thinking out loud here. I'm going to go for Survivor Series 94, which was when I was super into watching WWF, and I was about 12 years old. And I remember it's back when it was on Thanksgiving, and at Thanksgiving dinner with some like banquet hall with a bunch of extended family. I was just like, oh, I can't wait to watch Survivor Series. And I bet it wasn't as good as I remember it, but this is like peak Undertaker, Yokozuna rivalry. You've got like all the fucking dudes from that era, Jerry Lawler and Ted DiBiase and Razor Ramon. Let's see, let me see if I have the match card here.
Doink and Dink, your old pals.
Bob Backlund's in there, another one of my old pals.
Bam Bam Bigelow, Tatanka, your favorite.
Bob Holly versus Quang. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3 Kid, British Bulldog, Fatu, Razor Ramon versus...
Okay, so we get actual like Survivor Series matches. This is cool, yeah.
The Royal Family versus the Clowns. Bob Backlund versus Bret Hart, which that could be a really cool match. I don't know if they go technical on it. Like that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I think that's the start of Bret and Owen's feud or at least maybe it's in the middle of it, because Owen sort of has some interference in that match. And then the Undertaker versus Yokozuna.
Yes, the casket match.
A bunch of other cool. Look, we're gonna have a lot of characters in this one, so I can't wait to watch that. So that it's gonna be Survivor Series 1994 on the next episode, and I'm doing everything out of order on this episode.
Orders are for squares. We fly by the seat of our pants.
And as always, you can always reach us by calling 626-657-SLAM. You'll reach our Google Voice message machine, and we won't pick up, so don't worry. You can call, leave a voicemail, tell us what you think we should watch next, or tell us about your favorite pay-per-views from history. You can also cut a promo on us. You can cut a promo on me, cut a promo on Aaron. Good or bad, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from the Grapple Gang. Or you can also email us, grapplecitypod@gmail.com. We are also Grapple City Pod across social media, more active on TikTok and Instagram than the others. You can always find all of our information in the podcast description if you can't remember what I just said or if you're driving. But let's see. This week, I'll pull a couple things. We have a voicemail too. Sounded familiar, the guy, but he's using a different name now, I think. But before I play that, I was going to pull up this one dude on Instagram when you were talking about Chris Jericho, that you hoped you saw him at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
And some like AEW tribalist got real pissed and was like,
nice.
You fucking nerds. You think you're going to see Chris Jericho in WWE when Tony gives him a podcast, gives him a cruise, gives him all that bonus money, lets him play his own band's music. And he's just like freaking out, and
the neckbeard strike again.
The neckbeard. Yeah. And I responded to him. I was like, bro, check out the match card for that Jericho cruise. How many AEW wrestlers are on it?
0.
And he deletes it. Yeah, he got embarrassed, so he deleted it, which I thought was pretty funny.
Gotta take a chill pill, man. I like AEW too.
Well, that's the funny thing is like I'm not tribal. I don't think you're tribal about wrestling.
No, I'm not.
But there's always people that are so tribal about it. Like there's this guy that knows that I see an acquaintance I see kind of regularly, and in my work life, and he knows that I watch AEW. I mean, I think he knows that I go to all the WWE stuff too, but he just sees as he's a WWE mark, and so every time he sees me, he's like, "Hey, Brad, how's AEW doing?" And I'm like, "I don't. Yeah, it's cool, man.
It's good. Yeah.
Either it is or it isn't, right? Like some any TV, right?" And he's like, I hear they're going out of business. I heard Tony's he has no money. He's trying to sell it. I heard they're getting sued. I'm just like, cool. I don't know. I don't own the company. I don't work there. Even if I did work there, I'd probably work at the other place if they offer me more money. I don't give a shit, and then the AEW people are the same way. If you say anything about going to WWE, I don't watch that, whatever, it's like, well, when they're old, when they're stars leave and come to AEW, all of a sudden you know all about them, but you've never watched WWE, sure, right, buddy?
It's just the hip thing to take sides and be very angry and yell on to the other side of the aisle. We see it in our daily lives with politics all the time, and it's stupid, man. Why can't you just enjoy all the wrestling? Sometimes WWE isn't as good as AEW. Sometimes AEW isn't as good as WWE. It doesn't need to be a competition.
Right. I don't imagine it is for the wrestlers. They're just going to work, trying to do the best job they can do.
They're just going to work, making money, having fun, doing what they love.
So if you're a fan, you really, dude, you don't have any skin in that game. You're not being paid to watch one or the other. In fact, the programming usually doesn't counter program itself, so we can kind of watch all of it, right? That's why they're not both on Mondays and whatever. You don't have to pick one, dude. And if they were both on Mondays, we stream our shit now, so you can watch both anyways. But
yep.
Someone Drew on TikTok said Bischoff and Conan are not thanked enough for introducing us to lucha on a mainstream scale in America, which in response to us talking about the Cruiserweight match with Eddie and Ray last week. So
yeah, I could see that. No, they definitely, one of the things that Bischoff did do right is he brought a lot of Lucha Libre and some Japanese wrestlers in and made them more mainstream for sure. I totally agree with that. Conan helped too. Love Conan.
In regards to that match being the best of all time, this guy JP on TikTok says it's this one and Danielson Ospreay from St. Louis last year. And I think Danielson Ospreay's up there. I like Danielson MJF a lot.
I like that one a lot. Also like Ospreay and Omega at Forbidden Door, I think it was. I mean, the Tokyo Dome matches were also really good. But
I mean, it's hard when you start saying best. It's like, what's your favorite band? You're like, what? Of all the bands? I don't know.
Who is the greatest band of all time? Like, you can't be objective about that. Music is subjective. Wrestling is subjective.
Yeah, it's hard. It's I understand if someone wants to have their favorite match, but I also understand how that's going to start an argument on any any post, because that's a hard mountain to stay up on top of. And then Steven on that same platform said that this was a typical regarding Halloween Havoc 97. He said it was a typical WCW pay-per-view, great undercard and crap main events. I would go as far as to say like it was not a great undercard. It was like it had a couple great undercard matches.
Yes.
It had a lot of just shit up and down on that one. But this one we watched this week was much better. So that was cool. And hopefully next week's selection doesn't let us down. Hopefully it's just as good as when I was a kid. So that's all the time we've got for today. Excuse me. I'm going to play a promo that a feller named Static Jack left for us on the outro. And until then, have a good old time watching as much nostalgic wrestling as you can, just like Aaron and I.
Yes, we'll catch you in the cheap seats. Adios.
Name's Static Jack Steele. Maybe you've heard the interference before. That little hiss in your headphones when you think the show's about to start. Yeah, that's me, Aaron Fink, Bradley Palermo. You two have been living in the glow of old VHS ghosts, clutching satin-stitched memories like a security blanket. You call yourselves hosts. You call it nostalgia. Cute. But I'm the static between your segments, the glitch in your waveform, the ghost in your feed. You think your little nostalgia act can drown me out? I was broadcasting in the dark long before you hit record. I watched your signal rise. And now, I'm here to kill the transmission. Every cheap pop, every bad pun, every remember when. I archive and dissect it and delete it. I don't hit record, I hit erase. Bradley, your stories won't save you. Aaron, your riffs won't carry you. When Static Jack Steele hijacks your feed, there's no comeback segment, no outro, no applause. This isn't a warning, it's a blackout. A podcast obituary written in static, and it's got your names on it. So keep talking, boys. Keep rewinding your glory days, because I'm right here in the mix, twisting the dial, waiting for my moment to strike. 3 words, 17 letters, grapple, city, rewind.
Nice. Angsty motherfucker.